those who are serving, who have served in all the capacities of being in the military, to our first responders, police, etc. Moments. Done. Thank you. That'll be the mail we go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. She looks like one. She is. No. Can't hear you.
Dear Lord, grant us the ability to always seek your will in all that we do and say. Be with us in our deliberations and help us to be wise in the decisions we make for the good of all those who have placed their trust and confidence in our leadership. Give us insight to lead with integrity, that our decisions may reflect what is right and good. Keep us from short-sightedness and pettiness. Help us to make decisions that are good for all, and guard us from lying, self-interest.
Okay, roll call. John.
Here.
Terry. Present. Mary. Here. Barbara. Here. Mario.
Here.
Joe.
Here.
And myself, all directors present for this meeting.
Okay, I'm going to ask that we forego the readings of last meeting, which was so long ago, but now I have the minutes, I don't know. Anybody have
It's
it?
being organized.
I move into forego those minutes, reading. Thank you, second, thank you. All right, we're going
You
to
should
directors'
have that.
reports. I'd like to start off, if you don't mind, and I'd like to just mention that naturally, we all know we've all been out of circulation, not just because of the COVID, but in addition, Clubhouse 2 now is like 2 years since we've had a COVID. But since the COVID did come in, I want to thank everybody that put the work in. While, for example, somebody could have taken their unemployment, stayed home, and got the extra $600. None of the people that work for Holiday City, whether it be in the office or our maintenance crew, took advantage of that. They all came to work. And I just want to thank them for that. And this is the work they did, only part of it. But they restored Clubhouse 2 for us. And I want to put a thank you out to our maintenance and our office staff. Thank you. In addition, I'd just like to thank the walking women and me of the board. 4 of us are not in too great a shape. We've had surgeries and etc. Doctors' situations. But we've managed to stay together and try to get some sort of semblance of order and continue with the work necessary. So I do want to thank you, the members of the board, and I'd like to welcome 2 new members that you probably are not familiar with. One is Joseph Frisia, joined the board in the past few years. That's about all I have to say. I want to mention one other thing, and it pertains to what's something called the Radburn Act. I don't know how many people here are familiar with the Radburn Act, but it was instituted last year by the Division of Community Affairs. It seems there's a condo complex up in Fair Lawn that had a system that nobody could run for the board unless you were a family member who built the complex. So from that, the Radburn Act was instituted. When that came in our last elections, I wasn't aware that we weren't allowed to have our own rules. Each association has to follow the Radburn Act. We're not allowed to institute our own policy. And that's something I had an issue with. And I'm going to point out one thing with the Radburn Act that I very much have an issue with. And that is, if somebody comes to live somewhere, they can actually nominate themselves as a board member if they've lived here for 1 day, not knowing anything about the community whatsoever. I have issue with that, and I talked to our attorney. There were some other associations also who have issue with that. As far as the rest of the amendments that are in the Radburn Act, we now accept them all. We just had a problem with, we weren't allowed to have any of our own regulations. Prior to this act coming out, one of our requirements was that you had to attend 5 meetings. That was done away with by this Radburn Act. So that was just something we had. And other communities, other associations might have had their own regulations, which were there from that point on dismissed, to follow strictly what the Radburn Act says. Again, I have no problem. We're going to follow the Radburn Act as it stands right now, except for one issue, and that is somebody come into a community for 1 day and be able to possibly be on the board. And that doesn't exempt somebody who might be a child molester, a murderer, or anything else. I personally have an issue with that. I would think that if someone was a member of this community, they would at least have some prior interest in it, and that would be welcomed at all times going forward. That's all I have to say, but thank you all. God bless.
Point of order. Point of order. Okay, as soon as you, all righty.
So I'd like to go to the other directors for their reports.
Point of order. Point of order. Okay, a point of order is that you're not following something that should be done. Okay, and what it is that the 2 new directors need to stand. They need to agree and abide by a resolution, sign a certificate. Okay.
Hit him in the ass, Mike. Hit him in the ass, Michael.
My name is Michael Allegri. I live at 959 Jamaica. Okay, my point of order is this. Each board director. Don't turn your head.
Mike. Oh, you old hat. Hold the pants on.
Hey, he's a grass guy.
Stand before the community. Oh, sorry, Mary and Joe. Stand before the community in their first general meeting. This is this meeting, correct? Yes. I'm trying. Okay. They will agree and abide to terms and conditions. Okay? They will sign a certificate acknowledging the acceptance of the terms. No person shall be recognized as a board of director until first agreeing and abiding to the terms and conditions and signing a certificate. Okay, that's in our rules.
Excuse me, Mike,
Yes.
that's been done already.
Okay, but
These folks have taken, they've agreed to confidentiality with regard to things that are discussed in the boardroom. They have signed all the paperwork that's necessary. And they've, taken the course at the college.
And I don't doubt it.
To
I
be
don't
a
doubt it.
director.
But the rules say.
And I'm going to tell you that this is my 7th year on the board. Oh, wow. And I have never
Time to
stood
get out.
in front of this audience and agreed to do anything. It's all been done in the office.
The rule, the law says. at the
Which
first-
law? Is it in our bylaws?
Yes, it is.
Bylaws.
I wouldn't bring it up if it wasn't.
Okay.
Okay, it says at the first general meeting, that is this meeting. There they are. Here we-
Okay, Mike, so would you have an issue if they did that right now with their director's report? Oh, that'd be all right.
They did that inside.
In front of all of us.
Do you have to witness it?
That's what it says here.
Does it say you have to witness it?
This is the first meeting.
Take that aside, the point of order, we'll continue with the director's report. How's that? Barry, would you like to start?
I knew that was going to come up.
My name, for the newcomers that are here, my name is Mario Patinio. I've been on the board close to 9 years. I've seen the worst and the best. I want to make my presentation as short as possible. I know there's a lot of complaints going to be made when the president opens the floor to the board. So keep your complaints in a proper order, with the proper words and the proper language. Please don't get mad at us. We're doing our best. And we've been through a lot as a board. And I want to thank all of you for coming, for listening to us, and learning the things that we did in the past year and a half.
And you're not doing
Thank you.
My name is Joseph Friesia. I've been a board member for 11 months. I am the code director. My main responsibility is to review requests for modifications submitted by my fellow share owners. Modifications include sunrooms, decks, fences, sheds. Once the requests are in compliance with our bylaws, I present them to the board. And so far to date this year, we have approved 98 requests. We have denied none.
Thank you, Joe. Beverly.
I'm going to give the housing report. Houses sold in May 2021, 33 for a total of $16,500. Houses rented in May, 4 for a total of $800. Houses pending to close, 22 for a total of $11,000. Total properties possession, 18. Number of current liens, 188. Number of liens pending, 0. Removed 13 total liens not yet recorded. Properties with a second lien for non-payment of maintenance fees, 50. Properties with payment agreements, 4. Attorney handling, foreclosures, 20. Collection issues, 18. Other issues, 14. Besides reading this report, I'm responsible for a lot of the paperwork that you picked up today. Thank you.
Barbara, can you read?
I would imagine.
The general account, the payroll account, and the capital improvement account. I took over as treasurer, not for my abilities as a treasurer or a bookkeeper, but because I was available and I do maintain my checkbook at home. I know how to keep money aside and be prepared for unforeseen events. I try to do my best, as I'm sure all of you do. But transfers from our accounts are done every month. From the general account to the capital improvement account for the registration fees of $500. They are deposited when a house is sold. From the general account to the capital improvement account that is designated in the budget for the 2021 of $13,083.33 per month. Any capital improvement that was paid out to the general account, that money is moved back into the general account with a transfer from the capital account to the general account. Transfers are made to the payroll account as needed. All bills are paid from the general account. All salaries are paid through ADP. We pay ADP. It sounds a little bit confusing. We have one set of books and 3 different accounts, and they're all in Wells Fargo. And we make transfers. Actually, the office manager prepares a sheet and puts it on my desk that we have to transfer X amount of dollars from X account into X account, and I have to sign that it's okay. and then that goes back to her, and she takes care of that, or I'll go to the bank for her. That's as far as I know. With that, and profit and loss statement, our total income for May of 2021 was $81,977.94. Our gross profit was $81,000, I'm sorry, not $81, oh my God. $81,977.94. Our payroll tax expense was $3,764.67. Our Clubhouse 2 fire and chemical expense was $32,614.54. Our total expense for the month of May was $242,087, for a net loss of $160,109.86. The profit and loss statement is put into the paper every month. I really have very little to do with those figures. They're handed to me, I initial them, and then they go in the paper. Our office manager has been here for over 20 years, and she is one of the most efficient human beings I've ever known.
Really?
She's very, very good at what she does. And when she pays the bills, she gives us the checks. Two directors' signatures have to be on every check, and the checks are clipped to the bills. We get a stack of checks, and it depends. It's either the president, the vice president, the treasurer, or the secretary. Either one of the four of us are permitted to sign the checks. When we get the checks to sign, we sign them, and then we look at the bill, corresponding bill. Say it's from our insurance company, and it's for $18,000. I'm making this up. And so we look at the check for $18,000, we look at the bill from the insurance company that they submitted to us for $18,000, we look to see what exactly that covers, then we sign the checks. Then everything is given back to the office manager, who then mails out the checks, pays all our bills, and generally keeps us in line. Unfortunately, I have to drop this right now. I have a very important doctor's appointment at 2 o'clock that I could not change. So I have to leave now. I will be at the next meeting. If any of you have any questions regarding what I just said, please bring it up at the next meeting. There's a paper here for you to sign, to write down, to print your name, and write down whatever question you might have, and then I'll be sure to take care of it when you come down. I apologize to you. Thank you.
You have to wait a month to get a price.
Thank
You can submit it.
Yeah, we won't get an answer.
Hello, very nice to meet you all.
Oh.
I'm glad that I can be here and share this time with you. It's nice to see a full house. I hope that as many people are here are at least reading the newspaper and the bulletin, because I put a lot of time in it, and I hope that you're enjoying it. I've been here as long as Joe, 11 months, and for 11 months I've been trying to entertain you, inform you, and hope that you are reading every single thing that's in the paper, because there is so much information given to you by the president's message and the vice president's message, the maintenance, the treasurer, the calendar of events, bus schedules, all of the messages from the councilwoman Sophie Gingrich, who's here with us today, and all the pleasurable things, the little crossword puzzles, the recipes, the pictures, the little articles. I hope that you enjoy this, and please read the paper, because so many times we get questions in the office that they could have seen, or you could have seen and read about in the paper had you read the paper. So it's important that you look at it and enjoy it.
It's
So if you have any articles, incidentally, that you would like to share with the rest of the community, and you would like it to be in the newspaper, please send it to me, and I'll edit it and look at it, and if it's within bounds, I would love to put it in the paper and share with all of the community your thoughts and parties or whatever that would be interesting to everyone. Also, please note that the time frame of the newspaper, when you get the paper, if you want to send anything to have in the paper, you have to send it to me a month ahead of time. So if you send it to me, say, the first week of June, then it will be in July's paper. If you send it to me later than that, it would be in August. So please plan ahead if you in fact send any information. Thank you all, and enjoy the meeting. And Mr. Allegra,
Yes.
I do certify that I will abide by all the rules and regulations of this community. And today's the first meeting.
You don't have to address me.
Well, I just
Personally.
want you to hear it, so I want you to know
No.
that I'm saying it.
I listen to every word.
All right.
John's getting pissed.
I'm going to go next. Just to report that for the first time in about 4 years, we're under budget for trees. Prior years to this, we've had some really inclement weather. There's been, as most of you probably know, when Hovnanian developed this area, he put trees in that had a 40 to 45-year lifespan. Many of them have died. You see them sometimes as you go down the road, you see those that are near the sidewalk, and many that were planted on common ground. So in addition to that, and inclement weather, we've had a few rough years as far as going over budget, but so far this year, we're doing pretty well. I'm thankful about that. Unfortunately, I've got to leave.
Oh,
Oh, you gotta be kidding. You're almost stepped down. You're the damn last one of you.
So we're going to be asking Joe.
I don't want to get personal. I had You know,
Ronnie.
if that be the case, Ronnie, you know what, Ronnie?
He just had severe back surgery.
No, there's no need to have any kind of sorrow about it. It's my issue. Unfortunately, this agreement came before we knew we were going to have this meeting, and the surgeon leaves for the whole next month, and I won't have any results. If I don't go, I don't know what to tell you. But I tell you, if it means that much, I'll forego it to stay.
Oh, no, go, John, go. I'm a freaking cripple, but I made it.
Well, he's got an appointment.
Yeah, well,
Terry's got the next appointment.
doctors can switch appointments with another patient.
He's going to go sit in a room for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I can't even record this.
Excuse me.
God bless you. Ronnie or anyone else, if you have anything that you'd like to speak to me about, please contact the office. I'll be there for you. Thank you all. Never in the office. What was that? Never in the office? Really? What are you, sir, that you know I'm not in the office? What? Excuse me?
Excuse me.
There is no excuse.
She's going to take over now.
I yelled at your wife for what? Who are you, sir? What's your name? Stand up. Who are you talking to,
He's
sir?
recording it.
What's
I
your
see his
name?
phone.
I want to know your name. You can't get your say it.
I see his phone.
Well, say it. What is your name,
You should
sir?
go up to the podium, say whatever he's doing.
Listen. Excuse me. Excuse me. May I
Like
have
you, and
back
I'm so
surgery?
thankful that we're here to work for you.
John, go.
Go, John. Let me go.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
I called this right to the penny. I said, something's going to happen. Watch. Saw it coming.
Excuse me.
I did. I called you out. What's your name, sir?
Jason Samaritano. Remember my name? You call me out on the board all the time.
Oh, Mr. Samaritano, that's right. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Let's not make any issue about use.
18 complaints regarding you, sir. It's only 383 Barbados.
That's,
And you are-
not that guy.
That's against all rules, man.
Who is he?
He's lives at that place where all the friggin' garbage is.
That's against all.
And he's not even 55.
That guy right there?
No.
All right, everybody, could we please have some order? Can we please have some
He's gonna get
order?
thrown out.
John,
Yeah, now I know.
hello?
Why is he allowed even in here?
Hello? Sir, John is not.
If everybody's smart, they get up and walk.
There'll be police here. You want somebody
Why is he here?
John,
The maintenance guy.
Yeah, he's like the bouncer. Make sure nothing happens, which is good.
Oh, here comes the bouncer. Who's that
Right or
guy?
wrong,
He's gotta
you better
leave,
not put a
man. He's
hand
gotta
on him.
leave.
No, we're gonna have police here, watch.
453 or 483 Barbados.
Isn't that the house with all the
Yeah,
fences
you gotta
around
see
it?
it. It's a mess.
Is that the house with all the fences around it?
This is your leadership.
Or is that the one that has
Oh,
all
my
the
God.
dumpsters in front of his house?
I think that's what Mike was saying. That's all the garbage. And he's not even put goodbye.
The girl in front of us with the red on, she's the one that filed a complaint against him.
Oh.
Excuse me. You know what?
Nobody wants to listen. Shut up and sit
Nothing is
down.
going to get resolved if everybody is screaming and out of order. Everyone, please calm down and let's all act like human beings. No more screaming.
Okay.
We don't need this. I'm not canceling anything. I will. John.
Leave the building already.
Go ahead.
Mario.
I was going to call the police.
She needs a gavel.
Mario.
Use your head.
See, he should be evicted of that.
Yeah.
And stop arguing with him.
This is just help us. If anything helped us, it was this.
It wasn't, yeah, but that guy's out of line.
He's out of line, but John should have not given him any ammunition.
Now, can we get back to order?
John never should have pushed it.
There'll be a time for people to get up and ask a question or say whatever they wish. I would like to give, we all gave our report, now I will give mine. If everybody will sit and listen, and then anybody can get up.
Okay, we got a hand going over here.
Do we need to hear this now, or can we?
Yes, I believe you do. Can we please, if anybody's gonna speak, okay, could the person come to the podium and talk on the speaker, because we can't hear anything.
Charlie, exactly. I agree with you 100%, and that's why I said, as soon as I give my report, anybody can come up to that podium,
We can't hear back here.
okay?
Turn your hearing aid
Now,
up.
I also want to make mention that I have a sheet up here. If there's anything that we can't answer, I'm not going to make up an answer. I would prefer, if I don't know the answer or one of us does not know the answer, please write your name, your telephone number, the question. We'll get back to you. We will give you the answer, and you can come back to the next meeting and discuss it in public. That's the best I can do, because I'm not going to make up an answer that I don't know.
Oh, right.
Now, I have a few reports to make, and then we can get down to the rest of the business and everybody else's questions.
killed someone over a snowstorm. Snowdrops in the snowstorm.
Hello? All right. My first, some questions that have come up, and I'll answer them right in the beginning. Some questions have come up about the gazebos here in the community. Approximately 4 or 5 years ago, I can't remember if it was 4 years or 5 years, there was no smoking rule put into place in Holiday City of Berkeley, by the pools and inside the buildings or just outside the buildings. So the people at the pool they were standing outside the gates, everybody was complaining about it, so we said, okay, you have to go 25 feet away from the building. So what we did was we said, well, people from the pools were complaining that they had to go stand out in the sun, they had no place to sit, and they wanted to smoke. So we said, okay, we'll put up a gazebo and let people go into the gazebo and smoke. Those people were very happy, they used the gazebo. So we put one by the bocce court because for the same reason, people didn't want people smoking on top of them while they were playing, bocce. So they went to the gazebo to smoke, the people at the pools went to smoke. We put the first one we put up was outside the billiard room, so the people in billiards could come outside and have some place to sit and smoke. And the people in the upstairs pool had to come downstairs to the gazebo to smoke. Well, they weren't happy because they had to come all the way down and they had to go all the way up. So we went and we bought 2 more gazebos that we were going to put up, one by the upstairs pool and one for the bingo people.
So where do I benefit from this?
Unfortunately, we had the chemical fire. We never got to use those gazebos. When we opened up the pools here, we got over 25 pages of rules from the CDC on how to open up the pools. We had to keep each person that we had working here safe. We had to give them some place to stand in. We had to put up plexiglass. We had to do the whole thing. And we also had to have what they called a medical room prepared for at each pool, so that if someone complained they were sick, they would have a place to go away from the people, lay down so that we could call the EMTs to come and pick them up because they were sick. We used the 2 gazebos that we had bought originally and never put up, and we had to purchase 1 more gazebo so that we could open up the pools safely. The gazebos each cost $1,100, and they took our maintenance people about 2 hours to put each one of them together. So that's the story about the gazebos. It's probably about under $6,000 for the 5 gazebos that we purchased, or somewhere around $6,000 for the 5 smokers. So we felt that we would give the smokers a place to go, so they would be out of the elements, out of the sun, and they would have a place to sit. That's the story about the gazebos.
I'd like to know how many people smoke.
The next story we have is the wall.
The Great Wall.
The $17,000 wall. Some of you will remember this. Back in August 23rd, 2011, down in Virginia, there was a 5.8 earthquake on the Richter scale, which came right up through Ocean County. On that day, that it came right through our area. It came through the pool. If any of you remember, in Clubhouse, down at Clubhouse 1, the pool downstairs, there's a stairway that goes into the basement. It used to go from the front down to the steps. The steps at at that when that earthquake happened, broke away from the wall and started to crumble. It also went across, it lifted the pool up like a foot off the ground. It broke the coping around the pool and it broke some of the grounds around the pool. It went straight across the parking lot, caused a sinkhole in the parking lot, and it caused the walls that you see going into the billiard hall. Those walls started to crumble. There's hills there, so we had to use our crew as an emergency. They shored up those walls so that they wouldn't come down. There was quite a bit of damage. We actually had to hire a major masonry company to come in and do all of this. So when they did the stairs at pool number 1, they turned the stairs around so that they would go down sideways. So they were brand new steps, which also gave us more room to put tables and umbrellas and chairs at the pool. They did the coping around the pool. We had to have a pool company in to look at the pool because there were cracks in the pool that had to be repaired. And they did the masonry around the pool. And then we had to fill in.
All from the earthquake?
The town helped us a couple of times.
Not
fill in
age?
sinkholes onto the ground,
partially.
onto the parking lot. And they also came and did a concrete wall. They did it was a cinder block wall that they put up. So that was in 2011. And actually, the following year, we found out that the wall, the dirt behind the wall behind the pool downstairs was starting to crumble as well. The dirt was moving away, so our own maintenance people actually built a wall behind there to hold up that back wall where the pool was. So over the years, from I guess 2011 to now, there were cracks in the wall. We tried to repaint it. They did a little staining on it, but it just never looked like anything. So when this building was painted, it looked beautiful. It looked brand new. Everything was going to be brand new. We had the stone on the wall outside. So we thought, well, we would match that and make it look beautiful and have a whole brand new entrance into the clubhouse. This clubhouse now is all brand new. The only thing that we really have left to do is to get an awning that goes from the top of the stairs down to the bottom. So I have. What? What?
This is an emergency call, please excuse us.
John, forget it.
Oh, God, are you kidding me? Emergency call from John. I thought he was on his way to the doctor's.
I've heard more drama than TV.
All right, so that's the story about how the wall,
You mean that's the
and I
bullshit?
actually have a complete printout of the earthquake that happened on that day. And also, just to give you a heads up, today there was a 2.8 earthquake in Tuckerton, I believe.
Today.
There's always quite a few earthquakes in the state of New Jersey. So that did actually happen. So that's the story about the wall.
Yeah, right. Happened 5 years ago. Had nothing to do with it.
They must think we're all fucking
The
assholes.
insurance, we had some insurance, I believe, that was back in 2011. You were asking me a question. I was not in the
2011,
maintenance at that time. That was Bob Ward, he was here. Bob Ward, and I mean, if you want to leave that question, I will certainly be happy to find that information
I want
out.
to get hold of the seismology.
The next, question, something else came up that was, that said, well, who was responsible for the chemical spill at the pools?
That's a tough one.
They asked me to put it in the building.
Those chemicals have been in the two areas where the liquid chemicals were kept, have been there for 25 years.
In the building.
But I do have the inspection. We had a building inspection the year of the fire. This building was inspected, and it was signed off by Jack Warnaby, a fire official, and it went from January 19 to January of 2020. So people say, well, it should have been this, it should have been that, it should have been the other thing. If it was not supposed to be there, then the fire inspector, the building inspectors signed off on certificates of inspection. So we had inspections. So I don't know who you want to blame for the fire, but we're right now, the insurance company that we have is in litigation with the chemical company. The chemical company, we have the film, the chemical, our insurance company is in litigation with that company. So we're waiting now, and it's going to take time. It doesn't happen overnight, but it will take time. And we are told that they did, the chemical company said one thing, but the films show another thing entirely. So we are saying that they're telling us that if the insurance company wins their case, we then have cause to go into court and do a civil suit against the chemical company. So that's all I know about that right now. I don't have any answers. Yesterday, there was another issue that we had some construction going on our property and Jamaica. There was trucks here digging over by the bocce courts. Because we had all new codes here, we now have a sprinkler system. We've never had that before. We have new fire alarm systems. We have to, by code, and we were given this issue by the town, that we have to put in a sprinkler system in the basement of the offices, and we have to put in a whole new fire alarm system in Clubhouse 1. So the sprinkler company was digging at that time. That was the start of the sprinkler system going in under the basement of the office. And yesterday we had two vans that were here from the fire alarm company checking on where they were in the basement of the Clubhouse 1. But of course they couldn't do any work in there because we had the voting in there yesterday. So they will be coming back, putting a whole new fire alarm system in Clubhouse 1, in the basement there.
There you go. There's the answer.
We still have 70 cameras
Another
outside.
story that's going around, and I don't know how that's going around, is that nobody who lives in Holiday City, Berkeley, can work as a badge checker. Not true. Everybody here knows that the pools are going to open. We put out on Facebook, they put out on Instagram, wherever they can. We send out messages to the schools. We go to the high school and we give them information that we are looking for badge checkers. And we have had people who live here in Holiday City, Berkeley, work as badge checkers. We've had some older people. We have grandchildren of people who work here. We've had sometimes we've had older women, but they kind of left because they really couldn't stand and being out in the heat for so many hours. So this year, we had two women who came and looked for applications to work. They were given applications. The one woman, I believe, is starting next week.
Good.
And the one woman came and said, thank you for the opportunity to work, but I have a family issue that I have to deal with, and I can't work. But, so if there's anybody here who is looking to become a badge checker, the minimum wage right now is $12. So if there's anybody who would like to sign up and become a badge checker, you need to go to the office, get an application,
There you go.
and you can certainly come.
No, that works.
You'll be given a schedule.
From the spies. She got it from the
Some
spies.
of my things that, trying to answer, I will try to answer any questions, if anybody has a question. If you'll come up to the dais and ask your question, as I said, if I can't answer it, I will certainly let you write it down.
Veronica definitely wanted to get it. Here comes Donna. Hey, she's good. She's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
So, and please sign your name and your address.
She's the one that always responds to my posts. She's the first one to respond to everything I
You know
post.
what? Is this old business or new business? You know what, we usually do old business first, but everything, just, and one other thing, please, before I forget this. Next month, at the next meeting, we have an open meeting prior to the Shareowners meeting. If you would like to attend that, please come by. It will be in the conference room unless so many people show up, which usually doesn't happen. But if too many people show up, then we'll have to move it up to here. But you do not have a voice at that meeting. You could just sit. This is the meeting where we usually go over if we have contracts. We put out the contracts, we show everything, we discuss what's happening, what's going on. So, I just want to let everyone know that anybody can come to those meetings, but you cannot speak. You're there to listen, take notes, do whatever you want. Okay? Go ahead.
Microphone.
Yes.
Okay. Which directors are up for election this year, and how many seats will be on the ballot?
There are two seats on the ballot, mine and Mario's. We will be sending out all of the paperwork. It will be going out, obviously, I forget the date, but it's already in the works. We sat down, we have all the rules, we have all the regulations and everything. Anyone can come in and put their name in. So if you'd like to be on the board, please put your name in, send it into the office. If you want to say something about yourself, please do. It's almost like a resume where you would put in your qualifications and why you want to be, whatever you want to do, please do. I know we already have one gentleman who wants to. So, but by all means, as many people as you want, please do.
Without the account. The account.
You just have to be a member in good standing. I think
they should introduce themselves.
You have to sign in.
Bimini Drive is a very narrow street.
You know what? Is the mic on?
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
See.
Bimini Drive is a very narrow street with no shoulders, and the speeding of cars mostly coming in from Route 37
This information is wrong.
is extremely
She just gave us about the
significant.
directors.
We estimate the speed at 50 or 60 miles an hour, and we'd like to request that a traffic light be installed at the corner of Jamaica and Bimini If
No.
people know that they have to stop, they won't be doing that.
At least one accident.
You know what?
I live right there.
So do you.
We've tried that
One accident a
before,
year.
but Sophia Gingrich is in the office, in the room right now. Sophia is your
Hi, Sophia.
councilwoman. That Holiday City Berkeley has nothing to do with that. Unfortunately, we are not a gated community. The streets belong to Berkeley Township or the county. And so, we've been with the police, we've been with, we've done that. They normally do a study, and then they'll say, well, we will do that or we won't do that. Holiday City Berkeley can't do anything about that. That is the township.
Okay.
But
Thank you very much.
Sophia will definitely work with that with you.
Okay, and would this also involve the Ocean County Board of Commissioners?
I don't think so. I think it's either
Township?
if it's a county road, it's the county. If it's a town
The
road,
lady
it's
that
the
has her hand
town.
up to her face sitting right there.
Thank you so much.
Next to the heavy set. First, front page, oh, I just got her hand up.
She wants to kick ass.
The one that's up now?
Yeah.
She good?
Yeah, she wanted John down here.
So,
Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's this way.
She's our councilwoman.
Which one?
The one that just stood up.
Gingrich? Okay.
My name is Ron Smith, and unfortunately, I don't have the whole board here. But I am very upset that I was never given the opportunity to meet with the whole board about the RV parking lot. I did not appreciate John hanging up on me either. Now, how is it allowed that several outside contractors are using our newly paved parking lot that homeowners association paid for, and they leak their fluids? Are we exempt from lawsuits that they're using our parking lot? Gasoline and flammables are in those trucks. Residents paid for spots, and we were told that we can't have that liability.
Ronnie, first of all, I don't know that there's flammables in those trucks. They're the trucks.
They have gasoline.
Ronnie,
They have gasoline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
they are that's the,
Did you see the fluid on our parking lot? We didn't even use the parking lot yet, and we have fluids all over the parking lot.
Okay. Look at it. We'll look
who
at
gave
it.
them permission to park there? They are, the grass cutters are using them,
And the tree cutters were there too.
the tree cutters were there for a short time, but the lawn service is not in the parking lot, they're in the next lot before where the whole parking lots are. That we gave
Excuse
them,
me, is that not our property?
Ronnie, if you let me answer the question, would you like the question
Is that
answered?
our property?
Ronnie, would you like the question answered, or do you
Yes,
just?
but I want that one to answer. Is
I'm
that our
answering-
property?
That's our property.
Okay.
And I'm answering the question. Our grass cutters come from about an hour and a half away. So we felt they are self-insured. They are in our parking lot.
So was my boat. I was self-insured. You told me I couldn't park there anymore.
Shut it down.
There was a policy change. I think everybody.
I'm not stirring the pot until I get my recipe in now. I'm done.
Nobody has it in yet. You could pull the mic off. Yeah, he could stand a little bit.
Go ahead, Paul.
You're gonna love this question.
Good afternoon. My name is Paul Lear.
Hey.
The lady before this nice lady asked about speeding. I've had 3 meetings with the mayor on the phone and quite a number of emails. I also have had a couple of emails from the lieutenant, who is the head of traffic safety. I apologize for the way I talk. I have Parkinson's and it's a little hard sometimes. As getting a stop sign or street signs or anything, it goes through the Department of Transportation. They do studies and it takes 3 years, believe it or not. It's not easy. I have spoken to the mayor, and he has promised, and I think the guy is not full of shit, to be perfectly honest. He has promised to step up patrols the best he can during the peak hours, which around here is God knows when. So there is something that's going to happen, and hope to God nobody gets killed yet. They actually tracked a motorcycle guy 78 miles an hour going down Jamaica. Okay, so I hope that answers that way. It's going to take some time. I have a question for the board, and then I'll sit down.
Paul, you can sit down, I'll bring you.
No, I'm fine, thank you. For the last 3 months, I have been trying to get a copy of an entire bill from the board. And that bill is for cable TV.
Sorry, that's.
Oh, I'll repeat it. I have been trying to get an entire bill from the board for a cable TV bill. Now, when I send in the request, which has been, I believe, 5, and 1 phone call, I'm told that the only bill that comes is how much we pay. It does not say what we're paying for. The office manager in the last phone call said the association doesn't get a breakdown. That's the breakdown.
Well, the bill.
I'm not finished now. Let me finish my statement. Thank you. I called the cable company and I spoke to 2 people at the business office, and they said, and the law says we have to show exactly what somebody's paying for. Okay, so somebody's not telling me the truth. And I also requested in the one letter, why are we paying $800 a month for cable? That's what the bill says. And I was told that we have to be paying that because we cannot change the contract, even in a business account. Now, according to cable, you can change it anytime you want. There is a $15 charge per month for the entire bill if you change it, up until that portion of that contract is complete. So my question is this: after 5 tries, and why are we paying $800 a month for a cable that nobody can see because these clubhouses are closed? Now I'm done with my statement. Thank you.
Okay, we have a business account. The account takes in not only TVs, it's not TVs, we have basic cable, but it's all of the internet that's being used, it's all of the Wi-Fi. We have to up the Wi-Fi when we have cameras. In fact, we're getting all the camera system, everything was done through wires, now it's all Wi-Fi. So.
Ma'am, can I interrupt you for 1 second?
No.
Why does this 2 buildings and everything else have 72 cameras. 72, and I've counted every one of them. The only ones I know for a fact are none of these buildings are in the bathrooms, because that's against the law. And there are 72 cameras.
There's cameras in every single room, there's cameras outside, we have cameras.
72? What is this, Fort Knox?
We have two, but we have, some of those cameras are old and they're being removed and being replaced
Let somebody
with
else
new
go, Paul.
cameras. It's all new systems. The bill is a, unfortunately, we have an account, it's a business account.
Okay.
My account at home, when I had Comcast, just one home.
You gotta walk away
with
from
just
screen.
Wi-Fi and my TV. Before I changed to Verizon was over $300 a month.
Well, they were
So that was
ripping you off.
They were not an office where we supply full offices as well. We have a doctor, we have the real estate office, which is large, they use a lot, we have to supply them with Wi-Fi as well. So that's what the bill is.
So why can't you,
But they won't
can't
give
you
it.
show him?
They won't
You
give
need
it.
an itemized bill, that's all he's asking for.
My name is June9. I'm at 38 Georgetown Drive. I have a personal issue which I know affects a lot of people. As you can see, I have a limited ability to get around these days. I've been using the pool every year for the last 15 years, except for last year. And now that my arthritis has gotten worse, I tried to go into the pool Saturday, and I have spoken to Terry and Barbara, and I've given them information. My point is, they make staircases that go into the pool that have railings. You can go up and down on the railing. You can, when you step out of the pool, the railing goes over the lip of the pool, so you can step out on the platform. The YMCA has one. I use it every single day. A lot of seniors go there and they use it every single day. And considering this is a retirement development, thousands of people live here. A lot of people have the same issues I do. You know, I was hoping we could do something about getting a staircase that we can walk in and down, up and down, without holding. I can't use that center railing anymore. I used to be able to pull myself up, and it's become too difficult.
20 hours.
Saturday, I started to go into the pool, into the small pool, because I could pull right up there, and I found I just couldn't walk down more than 1 or 2 steps, and I got nervous. Nobody was there, so I pulled myself back up, and thought it'd be a good idea to bring this to everyone's attention. So hopefully you can look into it, otherwise take a look at what they have. I'm sure more people will use the pool if they can walk up and down easier.
Ms. Sullivan, you actually gave me some of your information. I've already spoken to Greg, our maintenance supervisor, and he is going to look into this immediately and see what this is and whatever we need. So this is, from the ADA. So
it is expensive. I know what the YMCA spends, and when I spoke to the manufacturer, he said it has a 20-year life, and that's if you use it every single day. Obviously, we're only going to use it 3 or 4 months a year. It should last a long, long time.
As I said, I don't know if are they made. I would imagine they have to be specially each pool. Anything that we use, so we are definitely looking into this.
They said it takes about 4 weeks to manufacture after they get your specs.
Well,
the season will be over.
Let me get back to you by Monday or Tuesday, so we'll find out what we need to know, and I'll let you know where we are. But in the meantime, don't hesitate if you have a cane or something that you could use to help you get in and out, and somebody else, will definitely do what you have to do to get into the pool.
Good, thank you. I'm sure other people will benefit from it too.
And I'm sure there are other people, so as long as it's brought up, we'll look into it.
Thank you.
And that's
Good afternoon.
My name is Anthony Palmieri, 7 Bimini Drive.
Would you sign in too, please? Your name and your address?
I have a comment more than a question. It concerns the lawn cutters. I understand I heard you a few minutes ago say that these people come from an hour and a half away.
That's their problem.
They're doing a terrible job, I'm sorry. It's my opinion, I'm not pushing I understand we have a lot of lawns here, and a lot of mileage with the lawn. But these guys zoom through the lawn at 30 miles an hour. They don't cut the grass. The grass just lays down because of the speed that they're going by. They go over my grass, and it's as if...
Mr. Palmieri, your name is Palmieri?
Yes.
Mr. Palmieri, have you come in to put in a complaint?
Oh, yeah, right in the garbage can.
Have you put in a complaint?
Was she kidding?
I have called the office.
Okay, I know that if you put in a complaint, we have a representative from the company, and believe me, we have them back here.
Today, this morning.
That's the woman that said they have to get up to speed. That's the woman that wrote that. They have to get up to speed.
We're looking elsewhere. They know that already.
In the middle of summer, you're going to find another company? Not going to happen.
Not this time of year. Nope.
From the company every day, who has been going door to door to each complaint. That's why I said, if you write that complaint out, please, write it out. We want the man to come to your door and look at your lawn.
Where do I go to?
Go into the office, there's a box with grass complaints on it, write it out, put your address, and he will be there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, what good is it going to do?
Could you sign your name and your address?
By the time the person gets to your plus the lawn is going to be cut. They need to see it not cut.
We can't hear you, Michael.
First, I want to say to the board, I am not trying to undermine you. I'm not trying to undermine you or go after you or anything, okay? The share owners all deserve to be heard. We have to follow rules, and you have to follow rules, okay? Now, my question is going to start with a little bit of a statement. The New Jersey Administration Code, okay, now that and other statutes, because I'm not just talking about elections or anything like that, demands that all associations must maintain a fair enforcement of all governing documents. Every document that tells us what to do, you have to enforce that. They outline what you can do and what you can't do. Being a board of director or a share owner, us, we are obligated to abide by all the governing documents. Association Counsel, Mr. Ladori, has over a year to inform you, answer your questions, advise you of all these new laws that came into effect. This question is reprised because the new laws also instruct procedures about open meetings. This particular meeting did not follow the notice protocol. Okay? The notification was inadequate according to the New Jersey Administration Code. Okay, now this you have to follow.
Michael, could I say one thing?
One more paragraph. I don't think you're going to be able to answer everything anyway. The question is, this was really for John to go to the board, and it can be, passed around a little bit. Okay? What steps in the past year has the directors taken to re-educate themselves, especially Barbara? She needs to be re-educated for the upcoming election processes and laws. And what can you tell the share owners today about the New Jersey Administration Code requirements. Now, an example would be, you just stated, Terry, that there's 2 directors up for re-election, there's going to be 2 seats open. That's wrong. Okay, there's going to be 4 seats.
That's right.
Joe was appointed, Mary was appointed, they go up for election at the next election. They do not get to write out any term.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. Check the law. Check the law, you can't.
Okay, listen, I will check that out.
Thank you.
If you'll, but we have met with the attorney, we have set with
He's an
him,
ass.
he's given us the guidelines of how the new
They have to
election
do what Mike says.
must go. So we have to send out certain letters, we have to,
About the ballot.
right, about the ballots, we'll have live elections, we're allowed live elections. As far as this meeting goes, we only found out recently, I mean, it was a very short notice that we got that we could even have an open meeting with the pools, with the rooms, with everything. We only got the CO a couple of weeks ago for this room. So we could not open this building until we got a certificate of occupancy. As soon as we got the certificate of occupancy, we said, okay, we need to have a meeting, let's open the pools. Even we had no way of getting it out there. A lot of people don't even know that we've always had open meetings. When we first started having the open meeting, the open board meeting, we got 6 or 7 people, then we got 3 people, then we got 2 people, and then we got Charlie Nielsen, who came to every single open meeting and knew every single thing that was going on. So he was always there to witness how we, tried to do bids or any other thing that was happening. We then put, this is a packet I put together, because I sent it to you. I actually did all the copies. I sat in the office. I went through 3 years of paperwork to say to you, Michael, this is what we put in the paper. We put that we were going out for bids in the paper, we brought it out to the people here. So I believe that anything you asked for that we get, and I spent a lot of time doing that.
I know you did, Terry, but you know what? You cropped off the right side of most of the pages, and I couldn't read the whole line.
Yeah.
So I
No waste of time. Couldn't read them. I tried to read them.
No. I know what you're talking about. I got the stuff from the lawyer, okay? And I got the bank statements from the lawyer. Reading the bank statements, I had a magnifying glass, so I couldn't read it.
And then you got another package.
Then the package that you put together with the information, which thankful because it had a lot of information in there. But when whoever scanned it or whatever, they cropped off the right side of the margin on 20 pages at least that I could not read the sentence. So I sent an inquiry to the lawyer, and I said, please, give me something I can read. That was 3 weeks ago, and I haven't heard.
Michael?
Okay. All right. Now, as to the election laws, the election law concerning candidates, you have your 2 who were up, you said Terry and Mario were up. Okay, but the new law, it's brand new law. Anybody that's appointed, you cannot be appointed for more than whatever the next election is.
Yeah, let us know if anything happens.
Joe gets appointed, okay, to a 3-year term. He's still in for a guy that had a 3-year term or whatever. Okay, he doesn't get to fulfill the term. He has to go up for election
I would have to
in
see
the
that.
next. Okay, you will. You will then, please, because I have never heard this from the board. I would like to thank you because this information is rock solid.
Well, I'd like to see the law. You'll give me a copy of it. I will go and sit and study it.
I'm not giving you a copy. You get it from your lawyer.
Well, okay.
You want to talk to you don't have it. And then also on the ballot has to be a blank write-in spot.
Yes,
write-in spots, okay? That's what the key is all, that's what it's all about, okay? Not 2 and 2 blank, 4 and 4 blank.
Well, I'll check that out.
Listen, I've been investigating it for a
Could
while.
could you tell me the number of the lawsuit?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
It's a Jersey statute, and the number is 526.
Jersey?
And it's in there about the candidates.
Statute 526?
526.
Okay, fine. I will call the attorney today.
Okay, I'll take it back. You know, what you have there, if it's not prompt, it's not your reason.
This is newspaper articles. This is what I sent you.
Right.
Now, these are
These look good. Okay, so what's happening is there's probably more words. I don't know if that's
I want to show you that we do come in front of this audience and tell people what we plan on doing. This is why, this is copies of, you know what, you can have this as well. These are most, I copied them out of my computer. Those are only maintenance reports. Those are my maintenance reports. Some of them are for the last 3 years. So that,
I just want to add that what the shareowners deserve is we're going to follow the rules. Okay? We want you to follow the rules. Okay? If you don't know the rule, like you said, I'll last or whatever. Okay? And that's the way it should be. Okay? And I don't object to that. I said you don't have to give me an answer today, but I was pointing out something that I know. Okay? And I would always point out something that I know.
I will look up that, I have it written down.
In fairness of time, I had so much more to ask and say.
One question very small.
One question I asked when I first started to talk, I asked when or how can I get a copy of that bill? So my question is, when will I get a complete copy of that cable?
There you go.
From
There you go.
beginning to end? That's all.
I don't have the bill. I looked this morning and I saw what you received, and that was the entire bill. There was a breakdown on the back of the bill. You've got it. We got that. It was on the back of the bill, and you got the copy of the bill.
We all saw it.
I'm sorry, Annika, I know your name, I just heard your name, but we can't hear you.
Annika Van I have so many questions, I really don't know where to begin. A lot has to do with maintenance and the way you categorize everything. One question is, why did our dues go up? When we could not use the pool, the clubhouses, I cut my own lawn. So right now I'm in the red, I'm in the green for $13 because I have to buy a new lawnmower because the men are doing a horrible job, which cost me $99 plus tax. A weed whacker, which was $40 plus tax. And my time to do my lawn. So, come the dues next quarter, ain't happening. But I want to know why our dues were raised $5 a month.
Put a lien on her house.
And we don't get anything. I mean, we had snow.
She's got to pay. She's got no
We,
choice.
Nothing.
when you, I'm sure you know that, I don't know how long ago you moved in, but.
Doesn't matter.
2017.
In 2017, so you received a packet when you moved in, and that packet said we do not remove snow.
Not even in the roads?
Yeah, right.
Roads are
Not
not, they
ours.
say in Berkeley, the roads belong to the township.
Right.
That's the township, that's not Holiday City Berkeley.
Other communities pay less dues and they even shovel their drives.
Right.
What are we getting for what we are paying you?
Listen, as I said, when you moved in, you got a whole packet, and on the front of that packet, it says.
I understand,
"We do
but
not
why
do
did
snow
our dues
removal."
go up? Why did our
Okay,
dues
you're
go up?
asking, which question do you want me to answer first?
Why our dues went up?
Okay.
When we did not use the pool last year or the clubhouse.
First of all, hold on. I can only answer one question at a time, so let me answer each question I can pose it. The first question was, why did our dues go up? First of all, last year we did, if you remember, we filled our pools. We were going to open our pools. So everything was used. We used chemicals, we did everything we needed to do to open the pool. And when you open the pool, that's when the biggest expense comes.
It should have been allotted.
Who opens our pool?
We opened the 2 pools.
Who opens it?
We don't have a pool company. Our maintenance manager also has his license. He is our pool company, which if we use a pool company, we'd be paying a lot more to open and close the pools and to have them come and test and do everything that needs to be done every day in both pools. Okay, so now, that's a question here. So that's who does our pools. Secondly, we did open the pools, we had to close them. We were called, the coalition got together, it was 10 communities, it was not ours, plus it was communities all over the state. We were having, that was the CDC, it was beyond anything, and we were told that at that point, there was no way we could open. Anybody said they got COVID at the pools, we would never prove that.
Can't prove it.
I really wasn't happy with that, and I wanted to open up the pools, but when you have that many people say, no, you can't, you have to. Whoever, if we're a board of 7, and 7 people say we have to do something, and 1 people says, no, we don't, well, the person that says, no, we don't, loses that argument. So we had to close our pools after that. Then we went through this whole COVID thing, but while we were having this done, and we had the insurance, we had all of the things that we had to do here, unfortunately, we found out that we also, because of all the codes, and this is not only going to happen to us, this is going to go to every other community as well. There are certain codes from the state and the government that everybody's going to have to follow. And one of them is sprinkler systems, it's new fire alarm systems, there's certain new doors that have to be, that open certain ways because of people with disabilities that have to be in their doors. So we had to put a sprinkler system in the basement of Clubhouse 1 for $87,000. And we had to put a fire alarm system in Clubhouse 1. And we have to maintain certain things. In fact, this year we're getting a new engineer report, which we have to have every 5 years. We're a little late because of COVID. There were certain things we could not do. But now we're getting a whole new,
Okay, I think we're getting a little off track.
well,
here.
you're asking questions alike, and I'm telling you, we have
This
to
is why.
maintain a certain amount of money in our capital improvement.
But a
funds.
lot of money is being thrown in places
there's
that
no money.
it doesn't need.
We have
Okay,
not.
now, did last year, when we started with this COVID, okay, which was in February, March, did you really think that the COVID was just gonna go away in a month or two, that we could open the pools? I mean, realistically, thinking about it, you should say, why did you fill the pools? You
When?
last year, why did you fill them? Did you really think that this killing disease?
Nobody knew at that point. We had no idea.
Yeah, but it wasn't gonna go away in a month or two. Why in the bother filling the pools?
Good.
Know that.
Why were you quarantined?
Look back into 1918. I mean, it was a terrible disease. And the COVID was horrible. Why open the pools? Notify every shareholder and say, unfortunately, due to COVID, the pools.
You're not going to get an answer.
Would have saved
You know, just like you didn't get an answer on who was responsible about the chemical. We're talking about the employees. Wasn't there a monitor there?
With the
Somebody
COVID,
watching?
you open the pool in March.
And we
It doesn't
had-
make any sense.
It was very,
I mean,
I'm sorry, that's, that's an opinion, and I really can't, I'm not gonna, I can't find an opinion. You have an opinion? We
all have opinions.
We didn't think that it was, we didn't know
I can't finish that
was going
sentence.
to happen.
We all have something else too.
Hour and a
So,
half.
Wait.
next, so we need the next question.
All right.
Hi, my name is Janet Ridley. I live on 196 Haddon.
You know what, if you're very slow, this is very slow. So your name here? Janet?
Janet. I only have one concern. The concern is the lawn cutting. Okay, Connie. The lawn cutting, I hate to bring that up again, but.
I know.
Now it's supposed to be every 10 days. Now it's every.
You got no answer.
And the lawn is so worn that.
Well, there should be minutes that are passed around to every shareholder at every meeting.
My big concern
There's
is the
so
last
many
cutting
things
is
done wrong
September
here.
20th. That is not gonna cut it with our senior residents. Do you know how many leaves are gonna be falling on these big trees? Who's gonna pick up all these leaves and?
Oh, we have, there's also a cleanup, we have cleanups as well.
Where?
Cleanups.
Where?
I mean, the other lawn cutting, they mowed in November, it was perfect, I was so happy for everybody.
That's right.
It's not in, the last one is not in September. No,
It was in November, I remember
No,
distinctly.
I'm saying this year, it's not,
Yes, it's
It's
September,
only
I
till
just read the
September.
paper.
That's what it said in the paper. September
20th is the last cutting.
That's right.
It's not gonna be good.
What? October's cuttings are not in the paper yet. It was something.
Well, still, it should still be November, Terry. The leaves are not all completely down.
Right, and we also have a cleanup in November.
What's a cleanup?
What cleanup?
What
Where they get the
cleanup?
leaves.
Cleanup is the.
I cleaned up my
cut
leaves
in and
last
clean
year.
up, and they come and pick up all the leaves and everything.
Oh, if it was in the paper,
That's your
that's
last
why I'm
cutting of the
concerned.
grass.
And it could be in the next paper, so we
It's not
have.
in there.
Oh.
The following paper.
Okay, that was my concern because, I mean, for me,
But if
The
you have
meeting
a
was
problem,
running late.
and
I
as
wonder if I
said,
should cancel my dinner
please
tonight.
come, fill out a complaint, and if there's anybody here who can't come to pick up a complaint, somebody will deliver one to you.
no, I just got nervous. I just got a little upset when I saw November.
Yeah, I know.
How are our residents gonna do this? Do you know how many leaves fall in October, in November?
All
So,
of them.
that's, was my, okay, Terry, thank you.
And as again.
Terry's resigning, right, this year?
He's the vice president.
She's resigning.
She said she wasn't going to run, but believe me, she's not going to back away. You're going to have to outvote her. And it's going to be tough. You know? That's why I need somebody like you to run, because
Oh, no, that's great.
if we can get two people.
See, I don't want to get too carried away because I don't want them to say, okay, well, we'll just take her resume and throw it to the garbage.
No,
Great,
they can't do
want to
that.
know. Thank you so much.
That's a violation. You can't do that.
Is there anybody else?
Oh, we got another one.
Sandy Maudsley, 463 St. Thomas. I just want to make a statement. One thing is, as far as dues, okay? In the 7 years that I'm here, they've gone up 4 times. And a little bit of like $15 here, $5 there has accumulated to $1,000. The other thing is that I want to know how you determine which common area is going to be kept up nicely, because I'll tell you, where I live, it's a dump. And as far as, well, when I bought the property, like, didn't you look like where you were purchasing? Well, it was snow covered, the trees were really pretty, so I had no idea what it was going to look like.
Can I ask you, have you put in any kind of complaint
No,
that there's?
because we're talking about the common area behind all the houses, and I know that some houses on St. Thomas, as you go down, you know, it's much nicer.
You know what you need to do? You need to come in and give us an address so we can look at it.
Okay.
No, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you.
You got to put it all ready.
I put a lot of time, I tried to put a lot of time in. Over COVID, we were coming in like 2 at a time, trying to be, distance. I know I have pre-existing conditions, my husband has, we all have pre-existing conditions. So we would come in the office, we were not coming in a group. We would come in like, well, I'll come in, for 3 hours today and 3 hours tomorrow, and you come in. So we would, we were trying to answer all the complaints, all the tree complaints, signing off on all the homes, doing, whatever we needed to do in the office. We tried. And so that's how we were working. We tried to answer every tree complaint, anything that came up, we do. I'm not going, and I put enough time in here as well. We have 3,236 homes. It's a lot of homes, there's a lot of streets, and I am not going to ride up and down every street, every week, looking for problems. If your next door neighbor doesn't have a problem, or you don't have a problem with your neighbors, and if you see something, somebody's on the lawn, or somebody's feeding deer, or somebody's doing something, almost every one of us has a cell phone that we could take a picture of that person doing that, and bring it in the office and say, here's a picture of this person parking on the lawn. Because if you say to me, Mary, 3 doors down, parks on her lawn every day. Well, if I go past her house and look, and I don't see it on the lawn.
Well, yeah, I get that. But this has been here we're talking about property, it's been here for 7 years. I mean, I could take pictures, I could give you a whole album. Bad enough I have to live next door to somebody too that doesn't take care of their property at all. I have to pull their weeds to keep mine looking nice. And I know there's developments, okay, where, like they see a little bit of a tree that's leaning one way, or you got a little mold on your house, and you notice.
Yeah, and usually most of them are gated communities.
Well, no, Pheasant Run is not gated in Orchid River.
But I mean, what I'm trying to say is there's 3,236 homes. Who's going to ride around constantly looking for all these things? No, I'm not.
No, but 3/4 of those houses have nice harmony.
See, I think the chemical thing happened in 2018, May 2018. Right. The pools were set up. So 2019, we were still good, right? Okay. And 2020, we were no good. So they kept on doing it, you know, they kept on setting them up. You were right, why'd you open it? You knew you weren't going to go in.
That's the thing.
They were hope. It was all hope, believe me.
If you're going to open them in March, like you said, and COVID hit us, why the hell are you opening the pools?
You had people protesting, you had all kinds of stuff.
All right, I can take lots of pictures. Great, do that. Okay, I don't know.
Oh, me too. I got them right on my phone already.
We're talking about a lot of properties that were going down the block. I'm not the only one that's got complaints about it.
I can't do anything about something that I don't know about.
There you go. Getting all these maintenance reports. They're giving me like piles of shit.
Before everybody leaves, and when everybody's done, if anybody's got a club here that they want to talk about, please get up and do that. As well.
Club, if you want to make a club.
Club.
Yeah. I want one so I can hit you in the head with it.
My name is Sandra Favier. I'm in charge, I guess, or president of line dancing. And we're really desperate because we want to start our line dancing in September. But I called the girl that used to teach us, and she's retiring. She doesn't want to do it anymore. So now we're looking for someone that could help us out with the dancing on a Friday night, and we'll see what happens. My name is in the paper, so if you really want it, someone wants to do something, they can call me. Thank you. And before anybody else gets up, I do have something. I have something that if there's somebody called and they would like to start Pilates and yoga classes here. So if there's anybody who's interested in taking Pilates or yoga, please just come in and put your name on a sheet in the office, because this woman says she's offering mat Pilates and yoga for $5 a class, which is unheard of. So just to let everybody know, that's all.
Good idea.
My name is Rhonda Brothers. I live at 6 Carrasco Court.
Your first name?
Rhonda.
Rhonda?
Yes. You mentioned in the newspaper. You mentioned in the newspaper you have a workout room that you put together.
Yes, it's right outside the.
Okay. Oh, I didn't see it. Okay.
When you go out the door, look out in the hallway, you'll see it right across from here. Right across from here, there's a gym.
I could come
Are
and
they in
exercise.
the room? Yes.
A lot of rules.
Okay, well, we're gonna ask everyone to sign in, to the hours, request the hours that you want, and just to please follow that. So if you say you want to come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 2, you have an hour. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 2. Please adhere to that. We have enough stuff to clean up the, after yourself. We're asking everybody, any equipment you use, please wash it down, clean it up. There's a TV in there, there's free weights in there, there's a few machines in there, there's a TV in there. So that's all, so many people asked to have that here. I know a lot of people who use a gym, they're paying maybe $20 a month.
Right.
So this way, they can save that $20 a month and come here, because most of the people just come and use either the treadmill or the bike.
Answer my
So,
question.
it's there to use.
Can you use it every day?
If that time slot is available, you can just put it in at this.
Nice. Everybody liked each other. It was like totally different atmosphere.
At a time using the machine, please don't harm the machines. Please be.
They pay no more than we pay. Well, their dues were ridiculous. It's like $200 a year. Yeah. But they don't have as many homes either.
Susan DiMaria, Day Planners.
They take in over $2 billion a year just on dues.
2.4.
You're very quiet. I was
2.13.
bending down for the short.
I'll be here for problems, not for joining clubs.
Susan DiMaria, Day Planners. We started our bus trips again last month. We went to Cracker Barrel. We are running the one bus, 22 seats. We require you keep your masks on, please. We are going to Point Pleasant next Thursday. I have one seat left on the bus. This was all people who called me up and told me they wanted to go. We are going in July to Hasbury Park. I'm trying to find some place we could go, but so far have been unsuccessful. We think we'll just be going down to the boardwalk, take a walk, have lunch. August is taken care of. We're going to the surf light. That was a little pricey, and all the tickets have been sold. September is open. I'm trying to get us to an orchard or a farm. October is Smithfield, November is Columbus, December is our big trip that we run once a year. We are going to Longwood Gardens, which I have spoken to people who have been there. They say it's absolutely fantastic. Decorated for the holidays, lights, fountains, carolers. It is walking, but as I understand, you can use walkers, you can use canes. There are a lot of benches to sit and look. And we will also be going, before that, we'll be stopping at the Joseph Ambler Inn for lunch. If you're interested, I'm sitting in the back. I will also be in the clubhouse Tuesday. I think we're going back to the 11 to 12 sign-in sheet, for activities. So I'll be there Tuesday. Thank you.
And if you give that, make sure that Mary gets all the information so she can post that in the paper for you.
Yeah, Carolyn is handling that. Carolyn's in the back. She's handling the posting in the paper. I think she already sent Mary something for next month.
And then the other thing is, if Bingo says they are going to be starting up in September, they're getting everything ready.
Wow.
So if there's anybody who would like to volunteer for the bingo in any capacity at all, you can see, I guess Vi Gillies has she's the secretary of the Bingo Corporation, so I guess.
Bingo, we have to be back by 4 o'clock. So we are always back at 4 o'clock, usually early.
Why are they starting so late on
Okay.
bingo?
I
Everything's
just
done.
wanted to let everybody know before everybody gets up and leaves that, we're looking for volunteers. All the different clubs are looking again for people to come in. So, is there anybody else? Nobody else has any questions or
I got 2
anything to
minutes.
say? Okay, I'd like to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Do I have a second?
Second. It's over.
Thank you all for coming.